Karine Jean-Pierre held a White House press briefing on Monday, one day from the midterm elections. Fox News correspondent Jackie Heinrich pressed Jean-Pierre on why the White House will not commit to holding a traditional post-midterm press conference the day after the election. Jean-Pierre reassured that President Biden will make remarks and address the American people, but it is unclear whether Biden will answer questions from journalists directly. Heinrich pushed back, asking how Biden could avoid answering questions from the press if democracy is truly on the ballot and there is a threat of political violence from election deniers. Another reporter interjected Jean-Pierre's response, expressing frustration with the lack of commitment to hold a press conference.
Thank you, Karine. I know you said from the podium a number of times, including today, that the American people will hear from the president the day after the midterms, but his statement or remarks is not just a departure from the traditions that the president has promised to restore to the White House, but it also doesn't allow this sort of nuanced discussion about what signal voters are sending in the midterms or how he plans to engage with the new Congress. An outside observer might conclude that he doesn't want to have a press conference because he looks poised to lose control of one or both chambers. So why the day before the midterms won't the White House commit to holding that traditional post-midterms press conference the day after the election?
You've been covering this administration for the past 20 months, right? As you know, it takes some time in any administration to lay out what the schedule is going to be. I have been very clear. You're going to hear from the president. He always enjoys taking your questions. I'm sure he'll take your questions as well. I'm just not going to get ahead of it. I'm just not going to lay out what his day is going to specifically look like on Wednesday. But again, he is going to address the American people, and I think that matters. He's going to be clear about what's on his mind, and I'm just not going to get ahead of it from here.
The president's own warning, though, that democracy is on the ballot, plus this potential for unrest, make it that much more important that the president avail himself to the free and open press that he has lauded as indispensable to the functioning of democracy.
The president has been very clear about where he stands when it comes to democracy. You've heard him talk about democracy over and over again. He talked about it last week at how important it is for the American people as they are thinking about the choice in front of them, what's at stake. He's been really clear. He's condemned political violence. This is a president who the reason why he decided to run for this office was because of what he was seeing. You know what he talked about, the soul of a nation. So I disagree with your premise as if it is something that is not important to him. He has made this an important issue. And again, I'm not going to get ahead of it. The American people, which is what matters, specifically, is going to hear from the American people.
About press access, not democracy.
I just have one follow-up, though. Consider that our request to have a press conference the day after the midterms, on top of the others that I know that you've heard from us before. But my last question would be about Elon Musk and Twitter on a lighter note. Is it an abuse for Elon Musk as the new Twitter CEO to use the platform to tell users to vote for Republicans in the midterms?
So I saw that reporting that was earlier today, right? Look, I'm limited to what I can say about elections from the podium, but broadly speaking, I can say that every eligible American has the right to make their voices heard in this year's election. That is their right to do. And the president has often spoken about the importance of voting, and I'm just going to leave it there as to not get involved in any kind of election.